Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/entitled people. In today's episode, entitled woman screams at me and my husband BC our shop is kosher. Entitled fellow took a handicap spot and was so proud of himself. My brother wants me to go grocery shopping for him when I have stitches on my foot and can barely walk. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled woman screams at me and my husband BC our shop is kosher. So to set things off, I 26F, on the 28th I will be 27, I own a sandwich shop with my 27M husband. We are both Jewish, so our shop is kosher. We aren't extremely religious, though we do the bare minimum. This story happened a few days ago and I just can't believe it happened. So this was in the middle of a very warm day, so the air conditioning was on 19 degrees I think. Anyway, around 3 p.m. a woman comes into the shop and orders her sandwich. All good until she asks for pork in her sandwich, so I point to the sign above that says the rules and the shop doesn't sell pig. She got upset, I assume, and says, "Can't you just give it to me?" One time, so I tell her we don't have any pig meat in the shop, so she gets more upset and yells, "Go get me pork you," which is the point my anger issues kick in, and I tell her in a rather annoyed tone, "Lady, this is a kosher shop. If you want pig, that badly go to a different shop," and she screams, "There isn't another shop in a 50-mile radius. Get me what I want." Then my husband comes out of the back due to the loud noise, and quickly tries to defuse the situation. I tell him what happened and he told me to go to the back and calm down, so I go to the back and put some pretty loud music on my headphones. This is from what my husband told me later on that day. Apparently the woman screamed at him that he's a dirty Jew, "Give me pork right NOWW." Well, he told me that he threatened to call the cops on her and she leaves pretty upset. So yeah, it happened, and we bought a big chalkboard and wrote big on the board, "We do not sell pig, this is a kosher shop," and the rules below it. LOL, she wanted pork so bad I'd have told her to look in the mirror. Let's just think about this a second. This is the only sandwich shop in 50 miles. 1, I doubt it, and 2, where were they going to get pork from? Go next door to Farmer John and have him kill a pig and butcher it real fast? WTF? I'm sorry you had to deal with that, you handled it better than most. If she went in a vegan restaurant and demanded a steak, her entire life would have been on the internet before she was fully out the door. I'd like the lobster platter. What do you mean you don't have shellfish? Stupid people, ignorant people, rude people. I've had it with them. Give me something that isn't on your menu, now. Baruka salt, maybe. I don't really have anything to add, but I had to post something because my username is finally relevant to a post. First person I have seen on Reddit using diffuse correctly, usually it's diffuse. I am so sorry that happened to you. The town I grew up in has a large Jewish population, and we all went to school together and worked together with no bias. I just don't understand how someone could be so ignorant to walk into a kosher business and want pork. Really? That's some kind of messed up. I could get not understanding what kosher is. I don't get the next 95% part of the reaction. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Anti-Semitism is on the rise in the US and globally. Not sure where you are. My very waspy Midwestern husband walked into the 2nd Avenue Deli in NYC and asked for a roast beef and cheddar sandwich. He didn't understand until I explained it to him, but he was fine without the cheddar. I'm so sorry for my ignorance, purely just want to know to expand my knowledge. Is it just cheddar or other cheeses as well? I am Jewish and keep kosher. I wish we had a kosher deli here. Lucky for her, I was not in the shop. I am Catholic, but I wish we had a kosher deli here. You guys can rock a sandwich. I'm really not religious, but nominally Christian. I grew up in places with a large Jewish population, and I also wish my small city had a good kosher deli and bagel shop. Entitled fellow took a handicap spot and was so proud of himself. I was going to park in a handicapped spot. I have a placard due to mobility issues, and before I could pull in, another car takes the spot. No big deal since I was feeling okay today, so I parked a few spots down, got my walker out, and was walking by the offending car. As I'm walking by, someone shouts, "I took your spot, old man," and laughed. I'm 52. His friends in the car laughed too. I looked up and it's my rich, entitled nephew. He didn't recognize me and he has a small Toyota car which didn't stick out to me at all. The look on his face once he realized it was me was priceless. We have a family get-together next week, so this could be fun. I've got popcorn on standby for this update. I had no idea where it was going and this was better than I expected. Sometimes I don't know how people go through life being so rude and ignorant. The other day I was at a gas station. An elderly fellow was waiting for one of the pumps to become available. He was waiting for quite a bit of time, then one pump finally became open. He started to slowly creep towards it, and some young fellow, in his 20s probably, dashed to the pump with his big enormous truck, then flipping the old guy the double bird. Much like your nephew, he must have been so proud of himself. Hopefully karma pays them a visit sooner rather than later. And, BTW, 52 years old is not old. To some of the young people, perhaps, but it's not old at all. Oh, please tell me you're going to congratulate his parents for raising a child who parks in disability spots and mocks the disabled person who was going to use the spot until he cut in ahead of them. Does he have a placard? You should have called the cops. That's a hefty ticket. As a member of the cops, I fully endorse and recommend this. I have zero tolerance with these. As a way older than you mobility issues walker user, I think this is awesome. You have some potent dirt on that kiddo. Perhaps a short chat with the kid's parent? If it was my kid, he would be walking for a few weeks. My brother wants me to go grocery shopping for him when I have stitches on my foot and can barely walk. I, 22F, got hurt yesterday and had to get stitches on my left foot. I am currently staying at my parents' house with my dad and younger brother, 18M, for summer break. Since my mom is on vacation, I do everything around the house. My dad and brother both work, so it makes sense and it doesn't bother me, often including grocery shopping, though my dad does that as well. My brother is a very picky eater and always cooks for himself since he doesn't like anything we eat at home. Every single day he complains that the fridge is empty, even when there's clearly a ton of food that we just bought. At the same time, he never comes along when we go grocery shopping and refuses to tell us what to buy for him when we ask. If I ask him what he wants me to buy, he says he doesn't know and apparently expects me to just guess exactly what he wants to eat. Today he woke up and started yelling about how there is nothing for him to eat. My dad went grocery shopping last night, so there's definitely a lot of food in the fridge, and demanded that I go grocery shopping since my dad is working and my brother doesn't have a driver's license. I told him I can barely walk on my left foot and I would like to rest since I was at the ER until 1 a.m. this morning. I offered to cook some pasta carbonara for him, since it's something I know he eats, but he said I don't know how to make it and that it would suck. I listed other meals he could make with what we have in the fridge, but he doesn't want to hear any of it. Guess who the spoiled sibling is? Edit, I forgot to mention that while I was literally bleeding out of my foot last night, he was in the same room complaining about how the Burger King staff messed up his burger that my dad got for him. Edit number 2, thanks for all your replies. I probably should have mentioned this before, but I can't just tell my brother to suck it up unless I want him to start punching the walls and furniture. Our fridge and door have literal holes in them from him punching them when he's upset. Update, my dad caved and went grocery shopping for him after work. Why are you catering to him? You are one of those spoiling him. He is a grown man acting like a bratty child. Put your foot up so it heals and let him feed himself. I would say put your foot down and quit enabling him, but that might hurt. I agree. He's a man, baby. He's adult, that's picky. Tell him to go shopping himself in-store or the MFKG app. Boom, then can't complain. He's an adult, and you are not a slave, and it's not the woman's job to care for the men/family. Your brother is 18, more than old enough to do things for himself. Refuse to do anything for him. When he's hungry enough, he'll take care of himself. I can see why your mom is on vacation. An 18-year-old toddler is exhausting. Stop enabling that crap. Bubba can get his license and do his own shopping if he doesn't like what you or your dad buys. You know, you're sorta teaching him how to treat ya. No is a full sentence. When you learn how to use it, you'd be flabbergasted at how well it works. He's got a job. He can order in groceries or take out. Go take a nap and stay off that foot. Stop spoiling and enabling him. You are part of the problem. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.